is every movie that I've ever seen about quarantine. I tell people all the time, there is no such thing as fiction.
This is government perpetrated. They say it's Ebola, but realistically, we don't know what it is.
Okay?
What we do know is a whole lot of people about to die.
Is it population control? Is it the Bible coming true? Is it both? I mean, we don't know until it's all over.
Hell, let's be real. We truly don't know if it's real or not. How do we know it's not just a mental game to instill fear and caution?
I have a lot of erratic thoughts about this, but the only thing that feels for certain is that it's our world government at work.
Ethnic cleansing, systemic, Tuskegee experiments.
How pure?
My fear is real. This could be eugenics.
What are you? Ebola is not real. And the only people who have gotten sick are the ones who've gotten shot.
People in the Western world need to know what's happening.
I think that somewhere out there is a person with the name Ebola, and they're feeling quite stressful.
Right. Why does it sound like Ebonics?
Because it shouldn't be taken seriously. It's a mind fuck.
We as a society need to stop flocking to any and all information that the media affords us.
Yes.
Most of it is not factual.
Okay.
Manufactured annihilation and chemical testing done at a quiet time on a few isolated people. An injected virus to level overpopulation in Africa by exploding from within.
Yes.
But now, it's an experiment gone wrong. The antidote exists in the medicine given to 2 missionaries in Atlanta.
I have some thoughts of hyper-propaganda along with suspicion about its origin, something like HIV.
Sadness that the world has another excuse to dismiss Africa.
Questions. Lots of them. Spiritual pain, compassion, powerlessness, love,
Yes.
love for lost souls.
Too little, too late. Racism, extermination.
Hearing a New Jersey nurse unquarantine herself in Princeton. Now, I'm nervous about the known versus the unknown.
Okay.
Now, how they gonna just ruin any potential tourist traffic by naming a virus after a river? Messed up.
Is this news only because of a fear of white people getting it?
Yeah.
Or unnecessary mass hysteria due to fear money?
It's genocide. America holds the patent to Ebola.
We should fear ignorance. I hear the words man-made, genocide, racism. Truth is, any virus or disease that of this magnitude deserves attention and respect. Then whatever its cause or intent, its effects are real, and that's what we need to focus our attention on. Blame and propaganda isn't going to halt the spread and destruction. Those African countries whose political or religious leaders who insist on undermining its pervasiveness are doing a great disservice to the public.
Yes.
Priorities, people.
Is healthcare inequality in Africa imperialism 2.0? And will social financial inequality in America turn into this?
Who's coughing? Who just sneezed? Don't breathe on me. Get off the train, homeless guy. You probably have it. Don't breathe on me. Will I get it? What is it again? Conspiracy to die? Cover your goddamn mouth. Don't breathe on me. Don't breathe on me.
Excuse me for my oppression.
Why is it that the response to our family in West Africa is so slow? Every time something happens to even one of us here in America, we freak out.
Yep.
What do you think needs to happen?
What happened to Eric Duncan and why? We present to you a timeline with questions.
Scene 1. Liberia, Monrovia. A pregnant woman, Miss Williams, is in need of hospital care.
I don't know if it's her time for the baby to come, but she needs help, Mr. Duncan. Will you please take her to the hospital?
We don't have space. The clinic is too full.
I lived here all my life, and now no one wants to touch me. They don't even want to see me.
So, I'll take you home. We'll try again. You're bleeding.
She died the next morning, although no one in his immediate neighborhood knew that it was possibly Ebola. Mr. Duncan had plans and happiness on his mind. His trip to America had been approved. He was coming to America to plan a wedding and reunite with his son. At the Liberian airport, he was screamed with questions.
Your temperature is 97.3 degrees. You answered no on the survey that you've never been exposed to Ebola. Is that true?
Yes. Dallas, Texas, September 25th, 2014.
Not feeling well, Mr. Duncan goes to Texas Health Presbyterian Medical Center Emergency Room.
Triage.
Fevers lately, headaches, fatigue. Have you been around anyone who's been sick? Where are you traveling from? Vomiting, nausea. Your temperature is pretty high. It's over 100 degrees, but we're pretty sure that it's a low-grade viral disease. We're going to send you home now with some antibiotics. Good luck, sir.
Freeze! Is this a question of inequality in healthcare? Could a different proactive approach have been taken here? Crisis averted by the right questions asked on both sides. Healthcare, health scared. Neither the nurse nor Mr. Duncan knew what they needed to know to be aware of. What did we miss here?
A protocol.
A checklist?
His temperature that day was actually 103 degrees. He described himself in great pain, and antibiotics are not very effective against viral diseases anyway. Back to our story.
3 days later.
Mr. Duncan returns to the hospital, this time in an ambulance. He is left in the waiting room 3 hours before he is isolated and diagnosed with Ebola.
We were to be married. Our son was to be reunited with his father. He said this to me after they put him in the hospital.
I'm so full of much regret. If I knew I was carrying this, I would have preferred to stay in Liberia and die rather than exposing you to this. I can't believe this is happening to us.
I have been quarantined and isolated too. We will be arrested if we leave the private house that we've been moved to. No apartments will take us. Our family is being treated like a disease in our own community. They say that we bring shame to people from our country.
On October 8th, 2014, at 7:51 a.m., days after his diagnosis, Thomas Duncan died. He became famous in a uniquely American way. The first person to die from Ebola in this country. Outside of the United States of America, 9,910 confirmed cases, 4,877 confirmed deaths in Africa. These numbers are changing by the day, hour, seconds.
Add in the nurses who were exposed and have since been cleared or cured, thank God.
Let's add in the doctor who we just learned about in New York. He went bowling to the Highline Park and did other things before he was quarantined, isolated. His apartment closed off by folks in hazmat suits.
But what are the questions that we should be asking? Are we being told to question or who instead of what?
And still too many what ifs.
And still too many stigmas.
Feelings versus facts?
What is it that we really need to know?
What is it that we really need to do?
Ebola?
What?